Introducing the new Bentley GT Speed Hybrid. Yes, Bentley has given its legendary Grand Tourer an electric upgrade. Let's see what it's like in this first drive review.
God, I love it when you can hear the V8 on this. Whoa, meaty. So what is powering this thing? So it's a combination of a 4-litre turbocharged V8 and electric motors, giving a grand total of 771 horsepower and 1,000 newton meters of torque. This thing is a bit of a powerhouse. God, blimey. It's pretty impressive really, the dual personality of this car. In EV only mode, it will do around 50 miles on electric alone, which will be plenty enough for most people's commute there and back. Not only that, but with the V8 and the electric motors working together, it will do 0 to 60 in 3.1 seconds, which is pretty ridiculous. It wasn't long ago that you needed a full-on super car to do that sort of performance. And now here it is in a Grand Tourer, a luxury, refined, quiet, easy to drive Grand Tourer. What a world we're living in. We're in hybrid mode, so the car is going to work out what it feels is the best way to use its power, whether it comes from the batteries or whether it comes from the V8 engine. And now, just driving along at 30 miles an hour, I'm not sure which it's using. I am, but audibly I'm not. The only reason I can tell is because the revometer in front of me is on 0, so obviously it's using electric power now. We're in comfort mode, and they have changed the suspension in this car quite a lot actually. There's a new twin valve setup. I don't really know what that means, but what it does mean is that the comfort mode is considerably more comfortable than the previous generation's comfort mode, and the sports mode really feels like a sports mode. It's a lot more agile and nimble. Of course, you got your Bentley setting as well, your B mode in the setup, which kind of is tailored to a mixture of sport and to comfort. But when you put it in sport, hear that noise? The V8 definitely comes to life. So let's give it a little squirt up here. Wow, that's quick. That is quick. Scrabbled for grip a little bit. Obviously it's 4-wheel drive, but it is about 2 degrees outside, so it's kind of to be expected. But that really makes the 771 horsepower known. It is a quick car, this. Very, very fast. So how often are you in sports mode in a Bentley? The answer, probably not very often. So when you put it into B or into comfort mode, it really settles down and it is whisper quiet. I mean, listen to that. So I'm going to put it into E mode only. It's auto hybrid. So you've also got hold, which holds the charge, and then also a charge mode where the V8 charges up the battery. You can have, as I am now in, EV only drive. So honestly, it feels no different. The way it changes from petrol power into the electric power is seamless. It's the best hybrid system I have ever driven, honestly. This works so well. You really cannot tell what you're being powered by. You would have heard there, I went 31 miles an hour, slap on the wrists, but this of course is a 2025 car, or 2024 car. It bings and bongs at you as soon as you exceed the speed limit, even if it's just for a second, for 1 mile an hour over, which is, let's face it, annoying, because it's just unnecessary, isn't it, for 1 mile an hour? But there you go. That is not Bentley's fault. Now there's one problem I've always had with Bentley, and that is the sound system. The standard one is okay, it's fine. The next upgrade from that is the B&O sound system, which was rubbish in the old car. Like, it wasn't rubbish, maybe I'm being a little bit too harsh, but it was no better than the standard Bentley system. So, and it was expensive. It was an expensive option, a good few £1,000s to upgrade. So it was an expensive option, but this one has the name sound system, and it is worth every single penny. And you'll need a lot of pennies to pay for this upgrade because it's extremely expensive, as in you could buy a normal car for the price of your hi-fi in here. But honestly, if you're going to upgrade a hi-fi, go straight for the name system. Don't bother with the B&O. Do not bother, because you're wasting your money. Either have none and just a standard system, or the name, because the name sounds fantastic. You of course have massage settings. There's a button on the side of the seat, and then you can go and have wave massage, you can have pulse, stretch, lumbar, shoulder massage, and different levels of intensity. I'm having a wave massage now, which is nice. And for the first time in a Bentley Continental GT, there is now a panoramic roof. Actually feels really good to have a pan roof in here. Makes the cabin feel a lot more spacious. It's something that we're very used to on SUVs, and well, actually kind of every car that isn't a Grand Tourer, to be honest. But this really feels like they have upped the luxury in this car from the previous generation, especially the way it drives. It is so smooth, so smooth, and so comfortable. It is, I would say, more comfortable than a Range Rover, and it's on par with the Rolls-Royce. The comfort level's obscene. I'm going over big potholes here, big drain covers, poor roads, as obviously we have all over the UK, terrible roads, but this car doesn't even notice, doesn't bat an eyelid, just glides over every bump. Really superb ride quality. So what about fuel economy? Well, most of the time I've either been in sports mode or in the charge mode, because I wanted to charge up the battery to then use it in EV mode, and I've averaged 25 miles to the gallon, which is pretty good. Is it? I think that's pretty good for a V8 car with 770 horsepower. That's 25 miles per gallon sounds pretty excellent to me. If you do a lot of miles, especially motorway miles, if you tour continents, which we all have this fantasy of doing, but how many people really do it? This is an excellent car to do that in. Right now, cruising on a dual carriageway, I've got my heated seat on, a heated armrest, massaging seat, heated steering wheel, and I'm just wafting along in supreme comfort, luxury, and style as well, because this car looks so much nicer than the SUV alternative. So I suppose the question is, would I buy one, and should you buy one? Well, this particular car that I am driving right now is £330,000. So it's quite a lot of money. However, it's quite a lot of car. And if you are in the position to be spending that sort of money on a car, then this is a superb car for you. However, having said that, this is the top spec. This is the first edition Speed. So if you instead bought a non-Speed version and not first edition and spec'd it how you liked, you could probably get away with spending about 50 grand less. I think it's worth pointing out as well that even though right now I'm in EV only mode, at no point has it felt like I needed the V8 to kick in, because there is so much power that driving in normal towns and on dual carriageways, you don't really need that. You actually don't need the V8. Would this have been just as good as a full EV? That's an interesting question. What do you think? Would you buy a only electric powered Bentley, or would it have to be a hybrid for you? I guess if you are crossing continents, then the V8 is handy. There's a man with a gold tooth grinning at me saying nice car. There's my audience. So I have heard that there has been little improvements to the lighting, interior lighting of this car, and also it's got some very fancy puddle lights. So let's drive into a car park where it's a bit darker and have a look what that is all about. Ambient lighting, look at this. Well, this is very Mercedes. It's green at the moment, but I'm sure we can change the colour. So you've got your illuminated kick plates. That's all fine and well, but check this out. It's really hard to pick it up on camera because its frame rates are weird, but that's an animated puddle light. Ambient lighting wise, it looks kind of pretty similar to what's gone before, but that's no bad thing. So on the outside, it's pretty much Bentley as usual, that big grille, menacing front end, but now you get, for the first time ever, a single headlight in a Continental GT. They were normally the twin lights, if you remember, but now you've got these single ones, and I think they've done a pretty good job of it. You get this line here that kind of looks, well, it's supposed to look like a tiger's eye somehow, but it's kind of just like a little flick of mascara or something. She's a pretty girl. As you come round the side, there's that always menacing and muscular look to this car. It's a true Grand Tourer. The sweeping lines, the big hips. It's a really, really, really good looking car. There's more changes around the back too, where you find the new tail lights. They're sort of individual lights. It looks really, really nice actually. When I saw this in the picture at first, I wasn't too sure, but now I've seen it in real life, lit up, I think these tail lights look fantastic. So there it is, the new Bentley GT Hybrid. Now it's time to drive off into the sunset.